Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I wanted to, of course, speak out like everybody else has been speaking out about this coronavirus. And actually, my program, I'm thinking about delaying it for a month just to give everybody a little time to financially recover. Um, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit as far as a health coach. Um, it's a privilege to be part of a profession or a budding profession in my case because I just started being a health coach. But to be able to help people, I can't cure this virus, but I can help people survive it. And I just posted that video with that doctor. Actually, my pastor, um, Rick Beard, was the one who posted it first. I saw it on his page, and I decided to put it on my page because I've been trying to find some good advice from doctors and health professionals about supplementing specifically for older people, and that's the first one I've seen. So that's super helpful. He talked about vitamin A, he talked about glutathione, I believe is what he said. Glutathione, vitamin D, vitamin C, and antioxidants, and how it has to do with oxidation in older people, which is why they're more vulnerable to it. So that was really interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed it if you watched it. Supplementing, health coaching, and taking care of yourself. I mean, just knowing the stuff. Knowledge is everything, guys. Knowledge really is everything, and there's so much backward stuff going on as far as health. I mean, I was taught completely the wrong thing to eat. Completely, if we were still working on the health advice that we were giving in schools when I was a kid, uh, this virus would be deadly to everyone. I think that that's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I can't say that for sure, but I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be able to handle it as well as we're handling it now. Um, and in many cases, there are a lot of people who shouldn't be vulnerable who are, and that's just because they're not or haven't been in the past taking good care of themselves. They don't think about what they eat. They don't think about situations like this ever happening. And who does? Like, we've never faced anything like this, not in my lifetime. And I've had many other people say on their posts and their YouTube videos and stuff that are much older than me that have said the same thing, that they've never experienced anything like this. So I will still be health coaching. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to help people fight this thing. And if I have to, and we end up stuck at home for a long time, or I'm just not getting a lot of hits on the Divine Health program, or perhaps if we get too many and the restrictions on how many people can be in one place at one time, we might have to figure something else out for a while until we can actually get together. But as of now, that's not happening. But I am thinking about pushing it back to May 1st instead of April 1st, just to let everything settle so that people have a little bit more consistency in their schedule because everything's kind of changing. It's hard to get groceries and stuff right now. I think by then things should start to normalize a little bit. It sounds like some of the grocery stores are ordering in more things to compensate. I've had a lot of friends on my group chats and stuff say that there's stuff on the shelves now that weren't there before. So that's encouraging. But I'm going to continue making videos. I'm going to continue posting on this page. I'm going to continue to try to give you guys useful information that you can use to get through this thing and to keep your immune system up. And a big one, guys, eat at home. Eat at home. Learn to cook. That's part of this Divine program thing, is learning to cook. And it doesn't have to be extravagant meals, okay? I'm not Chef Gordon. Like, I don't make super expensive meals. Cheap meals, simple meals, quick meals, because cooking for yourself takes time. You have to heat up the pan, you have to turn on the oven. It does take time, but it's food you bought from the grocery store, which is much more affordable, and there's no contaminants unless it was contaminated in shipping or something, but a lot less people handling your food unpackaged. Okay, so that's a big deal. And if you're cooking it at home, you know how well it's cooked. So that's another big deal. And besides that, a lot of restaurants are shutting down, guys. They're not letting that many people into one building. So, we'll see how that affects. But hey, I wish I'd offered this course a little earlier. Maybe you guys would have been better prepared. But I'm going to do the best to keep things going and get you that information. So if you're still interested in the Divine Health Program and you're interested in boosting your immune system and doing some exercises and being on a consistent schedule so that when things like this happen, you're not so afraid, it's a good time to do that. And I'm going to try to help people to do that, because I think it's, if we develop a culture of health, if we can develop a culture of health here in America, it will vastly strengthen. Because America is all about individuality. It's not about the government coming up with medicines or miracle cures. It's about us taking care of ourselves. That's the big deal. That's when it really matters. Some of the political commentators I watch always say that politics is downstream of culture, and that's because our politics is based on freedom, and that means we make the decisions, right? And you have to do the same thing with your health. The health of our nation is dependent on your choices that you make with your health, and we're only as strong as our weakest link. Because if one person catches this virus, now you see what happens. Now it's spreading around. Now, that isn't to say that wouldn't happen anyway, but I think if we could all get off the carbs big time, because carbs make a perfect environment for any kind of bacteria or virus, because it paralyzes your immune system. Any kind of sugar, your body's not used to handling those kind of substances in your blood. They're good for short term. Like, fruit trees have been around for a long time. They have sugar, right? It's for energy. Okay, the people from back in the day ate fruit and then they went out and hunted. And it took a lot of energy to gather all that fruit. So they were burning it off as they were eating it. We don't do that, guys. We sit and we have and they lived in different environments. Those fruit trees live in very warm environments. Or at least some of them do, especially the tropical fruit, that like coconuts. Like, you have to do a lot of work to get a coconut. And coconut's pretty low glycemic and it's super good for you, but that's got a lot of fat. What's a better example? Limes or lemons or, apples are pretty adaptive. But to produce fruit, you need a good climate, and a lot of times that climate is harsh on people. And so the fruit is there to keep life in those areas. It's an ecosystem. It gives energy, and it's a renewable resource. So, the tree grows out of the ground. It uses minerals and water and sunlight to make food. But if you eat that all the time, because apples are seasonal, you can't eat apples all year. When it's cold, you're not going to have any apples, okay? And it was created that way, right? So I think we've developed into a culture that always has everything all the time, with the greenhouses and whatever. Everything's always available, no matter what. You can always go to the store and get an apple. You can always go to the store and get a pineapple or a strawberry, or even blueberries and blackberries. Most of the time, they might be a little bit more expensive at some times of the year than others, but that's something that humanity hasn't seen in. It's good in modern times, but it's only been less than a few hundred years. America's only existed for a few hundred years, and not even in all of America's existence were things like that. Those were delicacies in other parts of the world where they didn't grow by themselves. So we're adapting to modern times. Humanity is, and the reason why carbs became so prevalent, from what I've understood as far as history is concerned, is we needed some food that was shelf stable. That America was at a food shortage at one point in history, and we made things like shelf-stable oats, like Cheerios or cornflakes, and it just got integrated into our culture. And there were some misleading health experts who have given some information that wasn't quite correct, and fought the people who were trying to give the correct information, and it's a lot of politics. It's a lot of misleading, corruption, There's a lot of stuff involved with why we got things backwards, and we're just now starting to get back on track. I think with the keto fad going on, and for a long time the Weight Watchers programs and Slim Fast has just kind of started jumping on the ball with keto stuff, and well, I'm trying to think of those other low carb diets that you can just buy at the store and they're just meals. Like you can just buy low carb stuff now. Low carb's been a thing for a long time. High fat, not so much. Now the big one that doctor talked about was vitamin A, and he said it's a fat soluble vitamin, and that the reason why elderly people need that and why they don't have it is because they don't eat a lot of fat. They're not eating meats. They're not eating the fatty foods that a lot of us younger people. And the reason for that, I think, is just misinformation. I mean, it could be that maybe it's just hard on their stomachs. Maybe they feel like they can't eat that, for health issues. But if you can, eat the fat, guys. Up your fat. Up your fat, and take some A vitamin supplements, and get those vitamins, those fat soluble vitamins, back into your diet. And have a handful of blueberries, blackberries, or raspberries, some dark berries to get those antioxidants up. Okay, that'll be great. Zinc is also a big deal in fighting viruses, and stabilizing hormone levels too. Zinc does a lot of stuff, but zinc is a great one. Vitamin D, big deal. Big deal. He touched on that too. That's also a hormone, but it also has to do. That's a very main important vitamin that you need to not only feel good, but also to keep levels where they need to be to fight off other invaders, whether that's bacteria or a virus. Guys, I know, now those of you who are being cocky, who may think you're immune to it, I feel that way too. I feel you. I can't get the flu. I've been exposed to a lot of things running a daycare, and I'm almost never sick, despite that. However, with this virus going around, you don't want to have to be fighting something else and then get around this virus and have to fight both of them. That's a big deal. Okay, that can make you very sick. So take the proper precautions. Don't be cocky. Do the right thing, and wash your hands. Cook your meats and stuff properly. Don't get food poisoning. And be courteous of other people. Okay, because not everyone's going to have the same immune system you do. And that's definitely something to keep in mind during these trying times. Guys, exercise. You gotta, especially if you're inside a lot, exercise, because it gets your endocrine system moving. Your endocrine system is what helps fight diseases. That's like your glands. You know how your glands swell up whenever you get a cold or you're fighting an infection or something, and the doctor always pushes back here and says, "Does that hurt? Does that hurt?" That's your endocrine system working. Okay, you want that moving and flowing. Your endocrine system doesn't have a flow. If you don't move, it doesn't move either. That's how we get infections in our endocrine system and why those things swell up, because there's just things sitting in there. And when you have a bacterial infection, that's just the bacteria growing in there. So, I mean, your body's still fighting it, but it's swollen and inflamed. So exercise, guys, exercise. Drink plenty of water, of course. Keep yourself hydrated. Keep everything moving. Eat your vegetables, lots of fat. Stay away from the sugar, guys. Stay away from the sugar. Paralyzes your immune system. You don't want that. And if you want to sign up for the Divine Health Program, please do. I am willing to teach you this stuff. I want to help fight this virus. I want to help people to survive this thing, even people who are in that risk range, that age of risk. I want to help you guys stay healthy, get healthy first, stay healthy, and not have to worry about this kind of stuff. That we're tough. We're Americans. We overcome this stuff. That's what America's about, is overcoming these kind of obstacles when it tears other people down, so that we can help others, right? And that's who we are as Christians. As Christians, we wanna fill our cup so that we can give to others, right? That's the promises we're given in Scripture, and that no plague she'll come near our home. So we want to have contagious health. Contagious health. Not a contagious disease, contagious health. Wherever we go, this virus has to leave, right? And just like I mentioned in the post where I described the Divine Health Program, you don't want to be disqualified, right? Because you were lacking, and you didn't show interest in God's temple, in yourself. So yeah, I hope that helped, guys. I hope that piqued some interest in the Divine Health Program. I will get back to you on if I'm going to start writing out lessons for an online course and how I'm going to do that. I still haven't figured out a platform to work that on. But I will start researching things and see what I can do. And that will be, maybe a slightly more affordable just because we're not face-to-face. So I haven't even thought about like what I would charge for it yet, but I will keep you guys informed. And May 1st, I think now is going to be the launch date for the Divine Health Program, and that's face to face. That's me and you working together. So if you're in the area and you're interested, give me a call. You guys stay safe. Have a good Wednesday, and we'll see you next time I make a video. Hopefully it won't be too long. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.